What if the most powerful being on Earth was raised by its darkest, most paranoid mind? Imagine this. A tiny rocket from Krypton doesn't crash in a sunny field in Kansas, but instead, it lands right in the heart of Gotham City. And who finds the baby inside? None other than Bruce Wayne, the Batman. This isn't the story of Clark Kent, the farm boy. This is the story of Kal-El Wayne, a boy raised in the shadows of Wayne Manor, under the tutelage of the world's greatest detective. From the start, things would be radically different. Bruce wouldn't raise this superpowered child with the loving, open optimism of the Kents. He'd raise him with caution, with strategy, and with a healthy dose of paranoia. Imagine a young Kal-El learning to control his heat vision not by accident in a barn, but in a controlled lead-line chamber in the Batcave. Bruce would see his powers not just as a gift, but as a potential weapon, a liability that must be mastered with absolute precision. Every new ability, super hearing, X-ray vision, flight, would be treated like a new piece of Wayne tech, analyzed, tested, and weaponized for the mission. This Superman wouldn't wear bright red and blue. His suit, designed by Bruce, would likely be a dark tactical outfit, perhaps made of Kryptonian fabric, but incorporating stealth technology. It would be designed for intimidation and efficiency, not for hope. He wouldn't be a symbol of the sun. He'd be a phantom of the night, a silent guardian who strikes from the shadows with overwhelming force. His training would be relentless. Bruce would drill into him every martial art, every form of strategy and tactical thinking. He wouldn't just be strong. He'd be a genius-level fighter, able to analyze an opponent's weakness in a nanosecond and exploit it with brutal efficiency. He'd learn criminology, forensics, and interrogation techniques from the master himself. He'd be Batman's ultimate weapon in his war on crime. In Gotham, this version of Superman would be terrifyingly effective. The city's criminals, used to dealing with a mortal man, would be faced with an unstoppable, invisible force. The Joker, the Riddler, Penguin, their reigns of terror would be cut short decisively. But how would he do it? Bruce's core rule is no killing. Would he be able to instill that same code in a being who could end a life with a single thought? This is the central conflict. Bruce, who has dedicated his life to controlling his own darkness, would be obsessed with ensuring Kal-El doesn't cross that line. He would constantly remind him of the fragility of human life and the immense responsibility his power carries. Every patrol, every fight would be a test. But what about the world outside Gotham? When threats like Brainiac or Darkseid arrive, this Superman would be a different kind of hero. He wouldn't be the big Boy Scout leader of the Justice League. He'd be its shadow commander, its chief strategist. He'd be more like Batman, always 10 steps ahead, with contingency plans for everything, including his own teammates. His relationship with other heroes would be strained. Wonder Woman might find his methods too harsh, too secretive. The Flash might be intimidated by his cold, calculating demeanor. He would command respect, but not necessarily friendship. The public's perception of him would be one of fear and awe, not love and adoration. He wouldn't be stopping to save cats from trees or giving hopeful interviews to Lois Lane. In fact, he might never even have a public identity like Clark Kent. He would be a myth, a whisper among criminals, an urban legend that happens to be real. Lois Lane, the intrepid reporter, will be hunting for the truth about this Gotham Phantom, a mystery far deeper than any story she's ever chased. This Superman's greatest struggle wouldn't be against villains, but against his own nature. The light of the yellow sun fuels his body, but the darkness of the Bat's cave fuels his mind. He would constantly be at war with himself. Is he a symbol of hope, as his Kryptonian heritage intended? Or is he a weapon of fear, as his upbringing dictated? Imagine him looking at the sky, feeling the pull of flight and freedom, but being held back by the weight of the mission, the constant vigilance Bruce instilled in him. He would have all the power in the universe, but he would lack the one thing the original Clark Kent had in abundance: a simple human connection to the world he protects. He was raised to be a soldier, a symbol of fear, not a man. This Kal-El Wayne would be perhaps the most effective crime fighter the world has ever known. He would be the perfect synthesis of Kryptonian power and human intellect. He would be the protector Bruce Wayne always dreamed of creating. But would he be a hero? Or would he be a tyrant in the making, a perfectly crafted weapon waiting for the day his programming fails? The world would be safer, but it would also be a darker place, living under the shadow of a silent, all-powerful guardian who sees everyone as a potential threat. He wouldn't be a Superman who inspires us to be better. He'd be a Superman who forces us to behave. And that raises the ultimate question. What is the true cost of a perfectly safe world? This story shows that sometimes how a hero is raised is just as important as the powers they are born with. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more what-if scenarios.